Guys, here with me, I have a step-by-step guide. The step-by-step guide will help you to tackle this thing of campus error calculations. Remember, the campus error calculations are divided into two. Sometimes we say amplitude, sometimes we say sometimes we say amplitude, sometimes we say azimuth. If it's not azimuth, it's amplitude. If it's not amplitude, it's azimuth. Elinye igama lika azimuth is APC method. Dang it. The reason they say APC method, it's because during the process of determining the campus error, you will have to calculate the value of A, you will have to calculate the value of B, the value of C. Payanage at C, in real action, some of these values we don't calculate them, as in using the formulas and calculators. We have a Norris table. It's an almanac of sort, whereby you are able to read off the values if you have the arguments. Just like you read the value for LMT ka sunrise. Angithi niyakwazi read off LMT ka sunrise. What do you need? One, you need the date, yes, and the latitude. Yes. You know how to read to GHA from the almanac? Yes. What do you need? You need the date and GMT, date and time. Sorry about that. You know how to determine the GHA, yes. What do you need? You need the date and GMT. Yes, it's time, but I want us to be specific in particular and say GMT, because there are so many time formats. There is also zone time, there is also local mean time, yes. But what do you need to tabulate? GMT, the date and GMT. You know as well how to determine the declination, yes. You also need the date and GMT. So here is a step-by-step guide, specifically for these two, amplitude and azimuth. I think we have covered a lot when it comes to amplitude, dang it. Let's go through the step-by-step guide. Let me remind you, this step-by-step guide will not be provided in an examination situation. The reason not being provided is that they believe that you have practiced a lot. And the more you practice, the more you get accustomed to these step-by-step things. So be sure to know these things. All of that. From LMT. Do you see LMT? Do you see the Indoit LMT? Yes. SR, SS, yes. LMT sunrise and LMT sunset. It will depend. It's not both at the same time. If it's sunset, it's sunset. If not sunset, it's sunrise. And you know how to tabulate those two. That's correct? Yes. Thank you. And then after LMT, what do you get? Go to a long. In bracket, time. Do you see Lendoga long in bracket time has got a sign of plus or minus? Yes. Because sometimes we add, sometimes subtract. Now, sign. They say easterly longitude must be subtracted. Westerly longitude must be added. If it means that if the longitude is east, GMT is least. If the longitude is west, GMT is best. GMT is best if the sign is west. GMT is best if the sign is west. GMT is least if the sign is east. GMT is least if the sign is east. Yes? GMT. Yes? If the sign is yes? GMT is yes? 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 You are cheating me. I can't hear these words. I want to hear least as in least, east, best, west. I want to hear them. GMT is least if the sign is least. I want to hear proper. Are you saying GMT is least if the sign is least? No. What are you saying? GMT is least. Yes? When the sign is east. Yes? GMT is west. Yes? When the sign is west. Yes? GMT is east. GMT is least if the sign is east. GMT is best if the sign is west. GMT is best
if the sign is west.
GMT is best
When the sign is west.
GMT is least
When the sign is east.
when the sign is least.
GMT.
Ayisebenzi. Uyasho nje. If the sign is east, GMT is least. Uvile ke ngoku?
Yes.
Hayi, not the other way around. So wazamcacisa leyo nto phayana. So we want you to remember those things. The sign of east long is subtract. The sign of west long is add. Fine. And then there's another one. They say GMT. Do you see GMT?
Yes.
And in brackets it's SR and SS. It's the same thing as paya LMT. Sekuzophuma GMT paya. And then we have tap declination. Do you see tap declination?
Yes.
Tap declination, it's into yakhe from the nautical almanac. Angit?
Yes.
But if it's in brackets, use UTC. Do you see that?
Yes.
And then the next step is D, correction. Nakona they say plus or minus. And then there is a formula. You know that formula, angit? The formula to determine the actual correction with the D value.
Yes.
Sure. Where do we determine the D value? Where do we get the D value from? Where do we get the D value from? From the almanac, angit? Where exactly from the almanac? Sure, no, paya at the bottom of the page, angit?
Yes.
Iba no D, small letter D. And then they specify by it's 0.8 or 0.7. Danko. Let's go through the step by step. From that one, whereby you will say D times minutes, D times degrees, minute, I. It's in land. Sebe simplifyile. I'm sure xa divider ama minutes ka GMT ngo 60 kuphuma into esabunjana ngithi. And then that will be multiplied by 0.8. But when you are used to it xa ingabe ikanje. Polos, tell me this formula the way you know it. The formula to calculate the actual correction. Yeah. It says kale iti D correction is equal to, and then Ponosa GMT minutes is minutes nama seconds if they are there, angit?
Yes.
All divided by 60 minutes, and then all multiplied by D value. D value. What's on? What are you doing now? So when banginikeza lento ethi D value multiplied by 00 degrees, minutes, seconds. It's because value from that you will end up with something like this. And then this something like this, we multiply ngobani? Value. It's actually the same formula, but written differently. They specify you about when to add and when to subtract. They say if the tap declination is increasing, you add, dang it. But if the tap declination is decreasing, now you subtract. You do exactly that. And then we start from E declination here to we find out who signed it. Unfortunately, there you have a different formula. And because you have the different formula, you will have different quadrants from one that I taught you. You remember the formula for amplitude Ibitin? Ibitin. The formula for amplitude says? Bizan. Sine amplitude, that's theta, ne? Is equal to? Yes. Yes. Basically, you simplify the formula. On the other side, you remain with theta, ofana no amp, ne? And then on the other side, it will be the second function of sine in brackets, sine and then you will have your value of declination,
Yes.
and then upper you will have cos, and then you will have your value of latitude, and then you close bracket. Remember to close bracket. If you used bracket here, you will open 2 brackets and close 2 brackets for the one above as well as for the one below. What do you notice about that one that they gave you there? The formula. What do you notice about that one? What do you notice about that one? It's in the formula, guys. Tell me, you see it. It's in front of you. It says cos theta, sine dec over cos lat. Basically, it's the same. From this side, it's not the same when you view it from this side. This side you have sine, on the other one you have cos. Now, go down and check the quadrant for me. And if this one is sine, the quadrants normally will be east, north, and so forth, east, south, and so forth, west, south, and then west, north. Go down, check for the quadrant for me. Am I quadrant 13? Are they still saying east, north, or the other way? Quadrant number 1 is, these are what you see from your paper. It's north, east, and then south, east, and then south, west, and then north, west. And if you see this, the sign here, and the quadrant will be this way of east first and then north after. If there is cos, the quadrant will be in this form of north first and then east after. It's the same thing, different methods. And you find the same answers, either using the first one or using the second one. Time to prove that one, I'm sure we'll find very soon. That was amplitude, done. There's nothing more with amplitude, that is done. Because when now you will simplify this and find the value of theta. Once you have the value of theta, it will depend whether it's east, north. Remember, low east is from rising, low west is from setting. East will mean it's a sunrise, but to west will mean it's a sunset. Where do we get these signs from? We get them from declination. Same as declination. If the declination is south, the sign will be south. The sign will be south. Now let's go back. Azimuth. We are busy now doing azimuth. This calculation is worth 25 marks. And unfortunately, if you make a mistake anywhere in the beginning of your solutions, the entire 25 marks is gone. And I think you have developed this bad feeling, the negative attitude towards these calculations. And that one is not. That one is not. Please, try as much as you can. Give it your best shot. Those step-by-step guides are there for you to know them. Let's go straight to them. But I want to talk about those 4 bullet 10 before we can go straight to the step-by-step. These ones you know from grade 10, these ones. I want to talk about them. These ones. Lento C, D, V, M, Anjalo. You know them from grade 10, Now we call from C, ETC, D, M, V, T. The other one is from T. So you say T, V, M, D, C. You know those things. And we have deviation and variation. Sometimes east or west. The 2 give you compass air. Oh, yeah. So let's go straight to the bottom part of it. The bottom part of it says calculating true azimuth using the ABC method. The first thing that you need to ensure that you are using the correct nautical almanac tables. Check the date, check the date, check the date, check the date, and check the date. A nautical almanac will give you 3 days. Will give you 3 days in one page. Make sure that the date that you are using is actually coinciding with the date that is given from the context. Yes. If it's 29 must be available in your almanac. And when you tabulate, go straight to 29th. Because there are 3 days, maybe there will be 28 and 29 and 30. So make sure ukuthi wena you go to umhlaka 29. Check the date, check the date, check the date, check the date. Use UTC to extract tab or tab deck or tab deck, tab DHA or tab deck. We use UTC or GMT. It's the same thing. Don't be confused by UTC. UTC and GMT, it's one and the same thing. Fine. Store the values of LHA, declination, DR in your calculator. Do you know how to store the values in your calculator? Do you know how to save the answer? In such a way that, imagine if you said sine declination divided by cos lat is equal to 2.22222. Now you want to add lento second function sine 222. And it you need to press second function sine and then bring back la value. Do you know how to bring back la value? Phela ndibuza lo nto nje. Oh, uyakwazi. Okay, fine. That's a skill here, guys. Your calculator will give you answers in the form of degrees, minutes, seconds. You must write that in that format. Degrees. Buka, they are showing you le nto bendixelela yona. Uyakhumbula ndikufundisa uba we have to try or to convert ama seconds to minutes. Yes. 1 minute is equal to how many seconds? 1 minute is equivalent to 60.5 of a minute is equivalent to how many seconds? It's there in your books. Yeah. 0.5 of a minute. Oh, no man did it's equivalent to 30 what? 30 seconds, ne? Aye, don't go there. Aye. You see, that attitude is going to kill you. Every time I'm asking a question, referring to something that is in your book, when you start paging back, aye, that one is a no. I thought you know it. I said 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. And then I went down from 0.9 to 0.8 to 0.7 to 0.6 to 0.5 to 0.4 to 0.3 to 0.2 to 0.1 to point. These values have their responding or corresponding values on the other side. You know them by heart, not by head. Ezinye izinto nisifakela nikhiphele izinto nisifakela ungamele nisifakela. You know you know what I'm talking about. You see the people that you have here, I take them out. Take them out. Put your books here. Put your subjects here. Once you start putting your subjects here and your books here, the future starts becoming brighter, even brighter. Practical example. Angithi namhlanje we are not full capacity. Some of you are not here. Why they are not here? It's no favoritism. It's no favoritism. Hold it right there. Hold it right there. It's no favoritism. Put aside this thing of crying and what. The reason they are not here, it's because they are excelling in their work. And that's the truth. Fine. Guys, keep it down. Aye, those ones. Aye. Let's address it simple and straightforward. The instruction was, we want learners who are performing very well in maritime subjects as well as physical subjects and math subjects. I know for sure, but my best performing subject in terms of nautical and and maritime. I check first with Mr. Mncwango in nautical maritime pase kanjani sakhe. Level 4. Pase kanjani maritime. Uqhethile uhlela. Uqhethile uhlela. Uqhethile na. Uhlela. Awunayo sho. Nautical. Aqhethanga ne. Siyaqala ke manje sekumele aqhethe from the other side. Umqhethe from the other side and then you check the overall for the two. Siyahamba in terms of maths and physics. I'm not good in terms of maths and physics. In terms of maths and physics. Module. Level bar. Level 3. Yeah, that's another one. Fine. That's the case. These learners who are performing, and then if it's something that you don't know, who are performing very well in this subject, and these two must be females. I'm telling you. Lalel, I'm telling you the instruction. These two strictly must be females. So now I have to turn him into she, so that he or she can travel. Huh? No guys, party, we are not there. I was trying to izofika ne-10 kasakhela nolukuza no more for that matter. Your 10 is coming, and I'm sure Vele, you are aware about in this maritime industry of ours nowadays, the women empowerment is very top on the list. All of you knows that. The women empowerment is very top on the list. We are trying to change the narrative of saying maritime is only for male people. Vele, we know about from where we're coming from, it was dominated by males. But slowly but surely the balance is getting there. Now when I will come to politics and say, this one was supposed to go, this one was not supposed to go, the first thing first, take them out. You see the people that you have here, take them out. I didn't say there is someone. Why are you even so... I didn't say Mkobeni. I said to all of you, yes. Take them out. Take them out. I know. Take them out. These people and these things that doesn't help you. There are so many things that doesn't help you that you have in your heart. But in what delays your books and your subject, if you put them here, things start to come together for you. Mangabe kucingwa nje umuntu vele eqala ekucinge ngawo. Vele futhi mina mangabe kuthiwa best, ndivele ngiqale ngicinge nje nithi. Sakhela. Boy. All the time. All the time. Kuthiwa best performing. Umiss mama nje uze wazobuza. Imagine, umiss mama uze wazobuza wathi, "Hayibo, ugoso?" Why there is someone ozobuza about ugoso? It's because there is something ugoso that is doing right. I'm telling you, kuphandla bantu, fakani incwadi. Your turn is also coming. All of you, your turn is coming. Kaloku xa ingafikanga, you know why. You see, I'm saying, have these things in your heart. Xa ndibuza 0.8, you tell me the value, angithi? Xa ndibuza 0.7, you tell me the value, angithi? Ivelu ka 0.3 is equal to 18 seconds, angithi? Xa ndikunikeza 42 seconds, 42 seconds is corresponding to in terms of decimals. Kaloku kumele uyazi from this side and again from this side. If you have the whole number of seconds, tell me it's 1 minute, angithi? If you have decimals of minutes, tell me it's how many seconds, angithi? So for example, if mina ndizokunikeza 36 seconds, you need to tell me 36 seconds ba is corresponding to which decimal on this side? It's corresponding to 0.6. Xa ndikunikeza 54 seconds. Correspondent no bani? Correspondent no 0.9, angithi? And so forth and so forth and so forth. If there is this, you need to rewrite it like this. It's there in your heart. If there is this, you have to rewrite it like this. It's also there in your heart. In your heart. And the mistake that you do, you are trying to not compromise one of them. Not books and not them. You are trying to squeeze all of them at once. Books in, them in. Aye, it's not possible. One will remain. The other will boom and will boom. I told you. One day I will come here and say, I told you. One will remain and one will boom. Let's not go there. Yeah, Sakela, even to you, we will boom. Because you normally get away with murder since we can't see you boom. If this one has boom, tell us this one is the one who boom. We'll print a shirt for him. Father to be. Father to be. Father to be. Until the baby is born. I'm a father or a parent. Because they get away with murder, these ones. Yeah. Step by step, step by step. Step by step, you call chronometer. Do you see chronometer? What is chronometer? Have you ever heard of chronometer? Do you remember the introduction that I gave you when we were talking about time? It's chronometer time. That's balalapa zabanins, box. I think that's the 8 in total. Kokona daylight saving time, kokona international dateline. Do you remember that one? Yes. When we started this topic, introduction. Z6. Oh, there is also what we call a chronometer. A chronometer is one of the very important instruments. A chronometer only gives us time. That's only what we get from the chronometer. Only give us time. It's a chronometer. Chronometer. La chrono palwepaya. Do you see chrono? Yeah? Yes. It's abbreviated from chronometer. Write it in full. Write it in full. Chronometer. It's a most precise, accurate timekeeping instrument on board. A most precise, accurate timekeeping instrument on board. The reason I'm saying instrument, it's because Nyaza's instrument, the difference between an instrument and equipment. Instrument does not rely on constant power supply, but an equipment relies on a constant power supply. My projector here is an instrument or an equipment? It's an equipment, Why an equipment? Because if there is load shedding, there is no projecting, It requires constant power supply. But a chronometer, even there is, just like your watch, if there is no electricity, if there is no network, continue telling you the time is. So this one is a most precise, accurate timekeeping instrument on board the ship. You only find it on board the ship. Chronometer. What is a chronometer? Wafana, a most precise, accurate timekeeping instrument on board the ship. Okay. Kongo, tell us. Chronometer. Yes. 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 Shoninoko is the most precise, accurate timekeeping instrument on board the ship. Yes?
The most precise, accurate, time-keeping instrument on board the ship.
Yeah, most accurate timekeeping instrument on board the ship. However, it's accurate. Sometimes it have errors. It's a chronometer, isn't it? If it have an error, the error is called a chronometer error. Chronometer error. The chronometer error will be fast or will be slow. Just like a normal watch. I'm getting now my watches. Sometimes you watch that is slightly ahead or slightly behind. So now think about it. If the time that you get from your own watch is slightly behind from the actual time that we all know, is your watch slowly or fast? It's slow, ain't it? Because it gives you something that is behind, ain't it? Now, if your own watch gives you a time that is slightly ahead, is it fast or slow? It's fast, ain't it? Because from your own watch, it's 7 o'clock, while from our own, all of us watches, it's maybe 6:55. Do you see that? So yours is telling us something that is ahead from us. Do you get us? Do you get us? We have 6:55 when we have 7 o'clock. So phambili. Thina sisemva ngithi. Ukhona wrong. Someone is wrong here. Who is wrong? Do you think all of us are incorrect? We have 6:55, all of us. Do you think all of us are incorrect? We're now at 20. You have 7 o'clock. Do you think you are correct? Aye, what is the possibility? What is the possibility of 16 people being incorrect and one person being correct? What is the possibility? It's too small, isn't it? Yes. But never say never. It does happen. It does. But in this case, you will be incorrect. So you'll have a slightly ahead. If it's 6:55 to us and it's 7 o'clock to you, how many minutes are you fast? You are fast by 5 minutes, isn't it? Yes. So every time you are doing something, you have to know that my watch is giving me the time that is 5 minutes ahead, isn't it? Yes. So now you have a class to attend. You have a class to attend. The class that you have to attend will start at 8 o'clock from our watches, all of us. On your watch, it will be Ubani Clash. Your watch will be? Your watch instead will be 8:05. You understand? So when now you have to time for 8 o'clock, but your watch will be 8:05. Hang it. What if when now using your watch, you came in 8 o'clock? Do you expect to find other classmates of yours inside or not? Do you expect to find some of your classmates inside? Are you likely going to find your classmates inside? Yes or not? Most probably, no, dang it. Right? We are talking reality. You don't come to my class before. You always come on time or after. So don't run away from it. I know for sure. If a class yam will start at 11:50, no one will arrive at 11:49. Source? You? I, maybe others, not you. Why are you lying? Who has ever arrived before? Answers in front of cameras. No, but no, in reality with you, it's much better compared to others. Yes. What if I say the same thing to others? I don't say the same. I'm not a lie. I'm saying this to you, but I don't say this to others. To others, I say it exactly the way I should say it. They do not normally arrive to my class before time. I know you. You know before the bell will ring. Uba, hi, my bag, my books. Sukangelo. Step by step. Step by step. Step GHA, yambona ngithi? HA increment uyambona ngithi? GHA uyambona ngithi? Then there is longitude ngithi? Yeah, then there is LHA. That is the first half or the first portion of our guide. Baze bakudividele yona ngale yanto ethi X. Do you see X? Means skip a line or give a space to the next one. And then the next one is step there, angithi? D correction angithi? And then correct there, angithi? And then give a space. And then this thing starts again. Give a space. This thing starts again. Do you see A? Do you see B?
Yes.
Do you see C?
Yes.
Do you see C? And then from C, what do you do? Tan theta is equal to? Hayi ngineqithile lapho ke mina. Ndisendi ku tan theta, uthini tan theta? Inverse. Inverse ne? Why bet inverse? Mhlambe nemethi iyasala nje la. Give me this formula the way it is. Guys, give me this same formula. The formula says tan theta ne? Is equal to, in bracket, yes. C times cos lat close ne? Inverse. It's routine, guys. This is a message to us. Can you interpret the message? If you were to use this formula, ubuzokwenza njani phaya? This thing is telling that whatever that you have here was not supposed to be here, was supposed to be a denominator. Yeah. Just like I told you, but this formula is actually 1 all over C times cos lat. Now, inverse. It's the same formula, however, written differently from the one that I wrote for you previously. Mina, I gave you this one, yes. Fine, it's the same formula as this one. But here they are reminding you that this, what you see here, is actually the denominator of whatever that you are doing. So when it's either you stick with this one or that one. But I believe this one will give you hard time. It's better this one, isn't it? Yes. How? I always make sure that I find something that is good for you. Yes. I got look in the Ntanda, you magic guys. Ntanda nyan. Ama steps get guys. It's your homework. Ama steps. When you go home, go through each and every one of them. Don't take them as light as going through the one on the left hand side. The one on the left hand side has an explanation on the right hand side. To guide you, what do you do? What do you do? Step by step, it. For example, but step GHA, nautical almanac table, UTC, it. And then each HA increment, but in brackets 15 degrees multiplied by degrees, la formula, it. Do you remember the formula? In minutes is got GMT, now it's pi it. Divide by 6 and all multiplied by not for D value, not for increment. This D value is for D correction, it. But for increment, we remove D value and replace it with 15 degrees. It's the same thing. I'm saying to you, when you go through the step by step, make sure you also read on the right hand side so that you will know where is this thing coming from. Otherwise, when we are doing a practical example, we now will have to go one by one and showing you, we get the declination from here. We get the D value from here, while it's also explained from your format or step-by-step guide. Please, highlight these ones. Highlight these ones. Highlight Lendoa LHA. You have a highlighter most when you are in grade 11. You know everything about highlighting the most critical information. A pencil. Who are? Over time, pencil loses its color and it becomes the same as if you didn't highlight. But if you have a highlighter, the highlighter will always stay there. A red pen sometimes overrides the information that you need to see. But a highlighter does not overwrite anything and remains forever. Highlight. Highlight mzaca. Lanto ka LHA. Yabona lento ka LHA? Do you see the explanation that says LHA greater than 0, greater or equal 0, or greater or less than 360, and gives you the if your calculator gives you a number higher or lower than this range, you need to subtract or add to 360. It's explaining to you that the value should always be between 0 and 360. If ever your value ends up with into a negative 14 degrees, is negative 14 degrees still within 0 and 360? The value should always be 0 to 360. If you see this one, it's no longer between 0 and 360. So what do? You add to 360. If ever you see something like this, if ever you see something like 380 degrees, is 380 degrees within 0 and 360? What do you need to do? Subtract from the above. When I meet you tomorrow, I will be asking for these step by step. No one will be having his own paper, but you will be telling me. I will be writing them onto the board from the first one up until the last one. It's a skeleton. Once we have the skeleton, we put back the muscles, the meat. You know, when you are a skeleton, a moving one. You are a skeleton, Pella. You have bones. Anatomy. Life science. Oh, but before life science, there was also social science, or natural science. What were you doing? When now you are a skeleton with bones, with muscles, that's why Pella, you move. So you will give me the skeleton, and then we'll put the muscles, all of us. Here is your next task. You can go through it. Cut, paste, and that's the end of our lesson. Are there any questions? Your assignment for this term will be not an assignment as such, whereby you research and stuff. It will be a task, some sort of examination. But the examination that you will have time to research if there are some things that are troubling you. And then you'll come back and then you write. Whatever that you researched at home, you come back, you write it at school. Not Lendo, you'll go home and research and then you write at home and then you submit. You will not submit. You'll come back, sit here and then you write and then I will take the papers. I will give you the question papers tomorrow. And then you see what to do. Thanks a lot.